months ago. And so I started in Sandy 3 years ago after I had, 5 years ago, after I had my little girl. And loved it. I did like 3 or 4 rounds and had a bunch of my friends buy it after they saw that I posted about it and whatever. But I really had no clue about coaching or anything like that. So I didn't do anything until 2 summers ago when I'm a photographer, so that was taking up all my time, and I have 2 kids, so I just kind of put myself on the back burner and felt like crap. And so I was like, all right, well, I need to get back to doing something. So I looked up on Instagram. I knew T25 was coming out the next month, but when I decide that I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. So I was like, okay, I need to do something before T25 comes out. So I got Lessons Combat and found my coach on Instagram. She just had posted about a challenge group. So I got into her group and started combat and Shakeology, which I had wanted to try Shakeology, but my husband's in vet school and there was no way that I was going to pay a quarter of our grocery bill on shakes, and so I never could justify it. Well, when the challenge pack was only $140, I was like, all right, this is sweet, I'm going to try the Shakeology, get going, and then I can get T25. Well, I was like a week into the group and on about day 5 of Shakeology, and I told my husband, like, I have to have this for the rest of my life. Like, I'm sorry, husband, but like this is awesome, and I'm like a sugar freak, like baked goods. So I will walk into the kitchen, and if there's brownies, they're like, Micah, you cannot leave until you eat me all. And so I'm like, all right. So usually I'd eat them, but I had my shakes for a week, and when I walked past, I think it was like pumpkin bread, and I was like, that looks good, but I didn't feel like I needed it, and like it was calling my name, which sounds like I'm crazy, but I swear that's how it was. So that's when I knew. I told my husband, I was like, I seriously, like, this is making a big difference. I need it. It just makes me feel good. So I told him, I'm going to sign up to coach just so I can get a discount. And he was like, oh my gosh, whatever. He knows how I am. He knows, like, that's how I was with my photography. I was just going to shoot for fun and learn more about it so I could take good pictures of my kids. And then I became like a full-time wedding photographer, and I was traveling and doing all this stuff. So once I like decide something, I kind of go all in, and he knew that. So he was like, great, we're in for some wild ride. But I told him it would not take anything away from everything else I was doing. It was just holding me accountable. So that's how I started coaching. And I had already been posting about my workouts and stuff, and I played college volleyball, so I have a ton of friends who are athletes and into fitness and already like seeing what I was doing, and so they were asking me, hey, I want to, like, what are you doing? I want to do it. So as soon as I signed up to coach, I had like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 people who ordered challenge packs right away and got into my first group. And it was that first group that I ran that I had people commenting and messaging me and being like, oh my gosh, like, I'm finally sticking with it, this is making a huge difference, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I realized what coaching, it wasn't just about selling challenge packs and selling programs and making a little bit of money here and there. Like, it was changing people's lives. And when I got a glimpse of that, I told JD, like, okay, I might have to go back on my word, like, I might want to do something with this. And so he was like, all right, whatever. So I'm part of Team Go-Getters, which is Mindy Wender, I don't know if you've heard of her. She's our upline, like a few levels up. So my coach, she's like, well, Mindy's doing the Diamond in 60-day training or something. So I was like, yeah, let me do it, and I'll just learn. So I would watch trainings and webinars and do all these things when I was editing late at night. And so I just learned everything I could so that I could at least talk to people about it. And at first, I was super nervous to talk about the business because I never, ever, ever wanted to come off like that annoying friend that just wanted to sign people up for stuff, and ooh, you never want to be that person. So I was afraid of becoming that, and so I just focused on challenge groups, and I focused on hitting Success Club every single month, like no matter what. That was gonna happen. And as soon soon as I had so many challengers having success, I was like, well, naturally I need to talk to them about coaching because that's exactly how I was. And they were wanting to stay on Shakeology and all that stuff. And so that's how, like, I ended up going diamond in 37 days, and it was mostly because I got challengers who converted over to coach. And that's honestly how I've grown my team from day one. It's just from challenge groups. And so now, 14 months in, I'm 6-star in my first, 2-star in my second, and my husband's 1-star. And honestly, like, I think the biggest thing for me is when I saw the potential in the business side of it. So I got into it for the fitness side of it and for the health and stuff. But when I saw how the business could seriously change people's lives, from we were in vet school, like in huge amounts of debt, probably going to end up in the middle of nowhere where there's lots of cows because that's what my husband wants to do, and I wasn't all that stoked about it. Well, we will graduate in May with no debt. Like, I'll fully pay off vet school, and he's gotten scholarships too. Like, he's the #1 in his class, and he's pretty awesome. So that's helped. I haven't paid for all of vet school from Beachbody, but lots of it. And now we'll get to go wherever we want because we don't have to rely on his income, because I'll probably always make more than him, and he's okay with that because that's okay. You can be a sugar mama, and it's all right. But so yeah, it's just amazing that taking your passion for fitness and health and just sharing it. Like, I feel selfish if I see someone who loves the products, or even not even introduced to the products yet, but just loves working out, and that's a huge part of their life. Talk to them about it, because seriously, if they knew, most of them don't know about the opportunity. If I knew 5 years ago that I could have taken my love of working out and fitness and whatever and made it a career that I could do from home with my kids, I would have been on it 5 years ago, and holy moly, like, where would we be now? That's crazy to even think about. But that's the biggest thing that I try and teach my coaches, is that they stand in their own way. They judge people before they even present it to them, and they make the decision for them. And you can't do that, because you don't ever know who is looking for something like this, or who, on the outside, you might think they can never coach, like they're negative, they're this and they're that, but they're the ones that need it. They're the ones that need the personal development and to feel healthy again and to love themselves. And so don't prejudge people, because seriously, that is probably the one thing that will hold you back more than anything, is not just loving it and then sharing it with everyone you know. And being genuine about it, obviously. Don't share it because it will benefit you, but share it